Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will learn about the research approaches. So there are two types of research approaches, that is quantitative approach and qualitative approach. So in the quantitative approach, which kind of data we are using? So we're relying on the numerical data that can be counted and analyzed statistically. For example, by conducting the surveys, experiments, and the census data. So here numerical means suppose you want to weigh some vegetables, then you will weigh the vegetables in the format of kgs or grams, right? Suppose you want to measure the height, so you will measure the height in the format feet or centimeters, right? So this is the numerical data example. Suppose you are a doctor and you want to conduct a survey with questions like how many times per week do you exercise, and on a scale of 1 to 5 how effective is this program in improving your energy levels. The data you collect would be numerical, nu- that is the number of times, rating on a scale, and easy to analyze statistically. So in the qualitative form, so we are considering the non-numerical data, that is words, images, and observations, which are uh, collected by conducting interviews, open-ended surveys, and document analysis. So you want to understand the motivations and experiences of people who participate in the exercise programs. You could conduct interviews asking open-ended questions to the patients like what are your goals for participating in this program, and can you tell me about a time when exercise significantly impacted your mood. The data collected would be textual, words, and description, and require deeper analysis to identify themes and patterns. So next, what is the goal of the quantitative research approach? So basically, this type of approach is used to test the hypothesis that whether the two variables are equal or not. So if they are equal, what should we conclude? And if they are unequal, what should we conclude? Okay, if they are unequal, how we should go for the next one? So it aims to test the hypothesis, measure the relationship between the two variables, and generalize the findings to a larger population. So normally we perform the experiment on a small sample. So if the hypothesis test works well, then we can apply it on a larger population. It seeks to in the qualitative data form. So in the qualitative data, it seeks to understand the experiences, meanings, and the perspectives in depth, often from a specific group or context. So it is basically used to understand understand the experience, meanings, and the perspective of the different groups we are surveying on. And what are the methods that we are using in the quantitative approach? So quantitative is a structured approach, whereas the qualitative is a semi-structured approach. So we are gathering the questions in a quantifiable manner, that is in a numerical manner. So it will be so we can easily validate the numerical data than the semi-structured data, right? So the qualitative data, it uses the flexible methods like open-ended questions, observations, and interviews to generate rich descriptive data. So suppose you might recruit a smaller group of participants who fit specific criteria related to your research interest. For example, age, fitness level, program experience, etc. So this allows you to conduct in-depth interviews or observe them in the natural environment, gathering rich and detailed data about their individual experiences. So the method that you are following in a quantitative approach is you might distribute your survey online or through printed copies to reach a large and diverse sample of people. This allows you to gather a lot of data for statistical analysis and potentially generalize your findings to a broader population. So next one is the analysis of the quantitative data. So we can analyze the quantitative data by using some statistical tools like correlation analysis, regression analysis, some by performing some tests like a t-test, chi-square test, and By performing all these tests, we can draw the conclusions of the numerical data. So whereas in the case of the qualitative data, so we are using the inductive reasoning and thematic analysis to identify the patterns, meanings, and connections within the data. So now coming to the strengths of the quantitative data. It provides generalizable findings, allows for causal references, and is easily replicable. For example, as you mentioned in the quantitative approach, strengths include generalizability, inferences, and replicability. That means we have to generalize the findings and we need to draw the conclusions. And the conclusions that we draw must be easily replicable to the uh, remaining problems also. And qualitative data. It offers deeper understanding of the experiences and complexities, captures the individual perspectives, and is flexible to adapt unexpected findings. So, what is the weakness of the quantitative data and qualitative data? So, the weakness is it can be insensitive, insensitive to context and individual experiences, reliance on the assumptions about the data accuracy, and may not be generalizable to all populations because it is numerical, so we cannot apply that data to all the population. Whereas in the case of the qualitative data, so we can generalize the concepts to all the data, on the entire population. So the conclusion that we got for the sample we can apply to the population in the case of the qualitative data, whereas in the case of quantitative data, so we cannot generalize the result of the sample to the entire population. So this is about the two types of research approaches in the research. And there is another approach called mixed approach. So it is a combination of both the quantitative and qualitative. So researcher will consider any of this either the quantitative or qualitative approach based on his research, or he can mix both them and apply it in his research. So this is about the research approach. Thanks for watching my video.